Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I will be giving my predictions on the two championship games, that being the New England Patriots playing the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Rams playing the Seattle Seahawks. These are two games that seemed like they were going to be very, very exciting. They still can be very exciting. It's just that Bo Nix is now hurt and out for the season. So we'll see how that Patriots versus Broncos game ends up playing out. Let's start with that one first. We have the New England Patriots, who have just won against the Houston Texans and the Los Angeles Chargers in their two playoff games, and the Denver Broncos, who just beat Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills last week. Um, Obviously, Bo Nix is not playing this week. It is Jarrett Stidham who is going to be having to kind of hopefully be that Nick Foles for the Philadelphia Eagles or for the Denver Broncos, just like how Nick Foles was for the Eagles back in 2017. Um, it is really sad that the Denver Broncos won't be with their starting quarterback, just because we saw last week Bo Nix was able to lead the Broncos to a game-winning drive, a game tying drive in the overtime, or I believe, yeah, and then the game winner. This is a game that, if Bo Nix was healthy, I would think it'd be a whole lot closer than I think it is going to be now. Um, let's start off with the New England Patriots and how they played in this postseason. So the the New York Patriots, New England Patriots. Why the fuck is I saying New York? The New England Patriots in these two postseason games have allowed 19 points across the two games, which is incredible. I think that's what 9.5 points a game. Um, that is really good. The problem is they played the Chargers with that terrible O-line. It's dog shit. I mean, they basically had the worst O-line for most of the season. And then they played the Houston Texans, who this whole season struggled offensively. Obviously, this is not a diss to the New England Patriots, because at the end of the day, you still have to win those games, which has kind of just been their motto this year, which is like, hey, the schedule hasn't been that hard for us, but there are some teams that lose these games that you're like, that should be a winnable game, and the Patriots have been able to win those winnable games. Drake May in this first postseason run, hasn't really played all that well. He is loose with the football. He was this, I think, whole season. I think he may have led the league in fumbles, or was around there at least, I want to say. And it's carried on to this postseason run where he is loose with the ball, especially against the Houston Texans last week. I think he had like 3 fumbles. Only one was lost, but he had 3 total fumbles. Um, and he struggled against the Chargers and the Texans, two of the better defenses in the league. And now he's going to play the Denver Broncos, who also have one of the better defenses in the league. It's what has gotten them to the point that they are right now, you could argue. Um, it's going to be a very hard game, I think, for the offense to go on these long, methodical drives. Um, they're going to need some help from their defense. They've been able to do that they've been able to get that from the defense the last 2 weeks. Obviously, with allowing just 3 points to the Chargers, I think sacking Justin Herbert 5 times, and then just dog walking the Houston Texans offense. CJ Stroud with all these turnovers, a pick six that helped him out really, really, really. Why am I saying? I sound like a fucking little kid right now. Um, but yeah, with the Denver Broncos, no Bo Nix, Jarrett Stidham, your offense looked solid for the most part last week against the Buffalo Bills. Um, your defense, everyone knows, is one of the best in the league. Now you got to figure out and hope and pray that Jarrett Stidham is capable to just help the team sustain drives, do enough to find a way to win a game this week. I am going to be going with the New England Patriots to win this game in a game that's going to be closer than most think. I feel like most are saying like this is going to be an easy win for the Patriots. This is still going to be one of those hard wins for the Patriots just cuz the Denver Broncos I believe have a defense that will be able to kind of make Drake May do weird things, like bad things. I do think that they're gonna make Drake May have to force passes in there. I do think that Drake May will throw an interception in this game. Um, do I think that that's gonna help the Broncos win the game? I do not. I think that this is gonna be one of those 23 to like 19 where it's like the Broncos keep getting in field goal range, 3rd and 4, and they're not able to get it, and they have to kick all these field goals, and just losing a close battle that if the Broncos are like, well, if we had our quarterback, we probably would have won. I think it's gonna be one of those games where it's like the Patriots squeaked by on a win, and it's not a win that's gonna be very confident for most people looking at them in the Super Bowl on February 8th. But I do believe the Patriots will just be able to do enough. I don't think Jarrett Stidham's gonna be insanely helpful, kind of like the way that Nick Foles was back in 2017 with the Eagles. Um, it sucks if I'm a Broncos fan just because this was a great year, and realistically, probably would have been the favorite in this game if Bo Nix was playing. But he's out for the year. You got your backup in, and I think the Patriots are gonna be able to squeak by on a win, 23 to 19. All right, let's go on to the main game. The Los Angeles Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks. These two teams have obviously played twice, same division. They split. You had the Seahawks winning at home and the Rams winning at home. In the first game, it was a game where I think that was the game where Sam Darnold threw like 4 interceptions, and yet the game was still like 23 to 18. I want to say it was still very close. And then Thursday Night Football a few weeks back, it was 30 to 14, and Rashid Shaheed just goes for a punt return touchdown, and then they Seahawks force a 3 and out, get the ball back, touchdown. The weirdest 2-point conversion that I've seen for a while, and all of a sudden it's 30 to 30. Goes into overtime, and the Seahawks 2-point conversion to win the game, 38 to 37. This is going to be a very, very, very good game. It's going to be a game that I'll say this. Last week, the Seahawks kind of like shadowed Sam Darnold a little bit, obviously healing from the injury, but they kind of just were like, all right, Sam Darnold, we're not going to really need you that much. We're going to use Kenneth Walker to kind of just be the main point of this offense. And I think that the Seahawks are going to have to do that again. They're going to have to be like, all right, Sam Darnold, we're going to keep you on a minimum. You're going to throw the ball 22 to 24 times. We're going to hope that run game is able to sustain, get 4 yards of carry. And our defense is just going to be able to do enough to stop Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams offense. As for the Rams, what is your goal here? No penalties, be very disciplined offense and defense. Give the ball to Puka Nacua. Check down passes to Kyren Williams. Have a good run game. And get the Seahawks offense off the field. Third downs, you have to be really great there. Same thing with Seattle. This is a game that I am torn, just because I think the Rams have the much better offense here in this battle. I know I'm saying that even though the The Seahawks did put up 38 on this Rams defense. But at the same time, you can say the Rams put up 37 on the Seahawks defense. That is probably the best in the league. I am going to be going with the hotter team here. I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks to win this game at home in a game that at first is going to be slow. It's going to be a slower type of game, I believe. Like at the end of the first half, maybe it's going to be like 13-10, which doesn't really seem that bad, especially if I'm a Seahawks fan. We have the lead at least. But I do believe that Seattle will start to find their groove in the later half of the game defensively, not so much offensively. I think if Seattle's offense is going to play well, it's going to happen in the first half. Whereas if the Rams really want to win this game, they're going to have to win it in the second half, I believe. And that's where I think the Seahawks defense is going to clamp down on the Rams offense and just find ways to get the Rams offense off the field. This is, to me, this game is going to be around, if the Rams put up 27 or more points, I do believe the Rams are going to win this. I think they're going to score more around the 20 to 23 range, if that. And as long as Seattle doesn't allow a big game from Matthew Stafford, points-wise, I should say, I do believe that the Seahawks are going to win this game. I'm going to say it's going to be about a 24 to like 17 game, where just the Rams, you look at the Rams and you're like, this doesn't seem, they haven't figured it out right now. Offensively, they haven't figured offensively how to find a way to stop Seattle's defense from just wrecking the game. And overall, I think that the Seahawks are going to be going to the Super Bowl on February 8th against the New England Patriots. So there you have it. That is my prediction for the two games on Sunday. I'll have my recap of the UFC 324 out after the fights tomorrow. And then, of course, the post-game reactions for these two games late on Sunday. That is all I have for you today. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.